Before boarding a 7-night swingers cruise, my husband and I rented a house for 2 days beforehand with all of our swinger couple friends, which I would 10 out of 10 recommend. My husband is such a book girly. Just look at his Kindle he decorated with the stickers, and he was reading Frida McFadden, Green Flag. We had some time to chill before we were able to check in, and we were the first to get there to the house, and we were psyched at how nice it was, and we were so excited to spend the next couple nights here. There was an amazing pool, and all of the rooms and all the bathrooms were so nice and modern, and we put all of the couples' names in an online randomizer to assign the rooms in the most fair way possible in our group chat. And then we actually got the master, so that was exciting, and we were celebrating, but literally all the rooms were so nice, so they all would have been good. We had the house to ourselves for a bit while we were waiting for all of our friends to get in, and I was relaxing by crocheting these adorable upside down pineapple bag charms to give out to people on the cruise. Jace was playing mini golf trick shots, which he does all of the time, and make sure to come back for part 2. We rented a house with a bunch of our swinger friends before going to the biggest swingers event of all time, which was a 7-night cruise with over 6,000 open and like-minded people. Being in the house together was literally so fun. It felt like having that found family you read in books or see in movies, but sometimes we do spicy stuff together too. Everyone chipped in, and some of the girls had cooking as their love language, so we had an amazing pasta dinner together, snacked while watching rom-coms and music videos, and had the most delicious breakfast spread the next morning with arepas, avocado toast, huevos rancheros, and then had an interesting conversation of which fingers people use to, what themselves and others. It was very enlightening, and that's what it's like having lifestyle friends. We do the most wholesome things together and then transition into other things like this. And it was one of our friends' birthdays that day, so we all surprised her with her favorite desserts and did the whole happy birthday thing. It was so sweet having everyone together to do this, and she literally had no clue how we did all this without her knowing, and she cried, and it was such a special moment. Make sure to come back because the next video will be day 1 of the cruise. I went on the biggest adults-only spicy cruise of all time. We got a private shuttle with all our swinger friends to go to the port and then boarded the Symphony of the Seas ship, which had over 6,600 guests on this chartered event called Bliss Cruise. This is our 4th Bliss Cruise, and we always have so much fun on lifestyle vacations because it's our absolute favorite way to meet like-minded people in this community. The open relationship community is super stigmatized in society, so being at a place for 7 days where we feel completely accepted and safe is so comforting and exciting for us. Here is a quick room tour of our room, and it was actually surprisingly spacious for an interior room, and we had an interesting virtual window, which we really enjoyed. I had to make my travel plushie feel right at home and then unpack and decorate our door, which is a super common thing to see on cruises like this. We put everything on with magnets because that ensures it doesn't ruin any of the interior of the ship, and we put up a whiteboard to leave messages on, upside down pineapples, of course, swinger memes, and some twinkle lights for some extra pizzazz. Make sure to come back for night 1. I spent 7 nights on an adults-only spicy cruise, and night 1's theme was high school flashback. I love bringing trinkets to give away on these cruises because they're such a great icebreaker, and I crocheted some bag charms and made some spicy candy to give out. We flipped through the brochure for the cruise and saw our friend DJ Life is Spice, who we love and are excited to see DJ the parties, which, by the way, I can't show because we respect people's privacy, and most people keep this side of their life very private due to the overwhelming discrimination from society, and people are either participating in the clothing optional aspect or in scantily clad attire or doing adult activities. So we purposefully keep people out of our videos and can only show the very safe things like food or the amenities when they're not in use. Our neighbors had these pineapple candies on their door, so yummy, and it was time to get ready for the theme night party. Jason and I were scene kids back in high school, and I made our shirts. They're so funny. His said it's not a phase, and the O was an upside down pineapple. We had to take these iconic mirror pics because if you know, you know, and our friend group all dressed up as emo in scene 2. We watched the balloon drop, had fun at the party, and come back for day 2. I saw so many upside down pineapples on this cruise that I went on. Day 2 of Bliss Cruise started off with having a nice sit-down breakfast with my husband at the main dining room. There's a lot of socializing that happens with swinger cruises, so it's really nice to have some alone time to connect with your partner. I got V8 juice, which I haven't had in forever and actually forgot that it existed. After breakfast, we strolled down a random cabin hall, which we do a lot to see the decorations. And here's an example of what people do with their boards to show where they'll be on the ship and when, since it's so big. We also saw a swinger bingo, which I have to blur because it's way too much for here, but you can find it on my other page. We assembled our gift bags that we hand make all the goodies for the people who support our channels by booking through our website and being part of our group. And we hosted a private meetup with everyone for everyone to connect, and we did an icebreaker game, and it was amazing seeing people make connections. One thing about swingers is we are all for seeing our friends get with other friends. And come back for my night 2 vlog. We're a young swinger couple and spent 7 nights on the world's largest adults-only spicy cruise. We got lunch at the cafe in Central Park, which, yes, there is a whole Central Park area in the middle of this cruise ship that felt like you were on land walking through a beautiful park. We came across this interactive door that was so funny and went to an event at this venue. And you know that scene in Specs and the City when Samantha was a human plate of sushi? Yeah, they had that there, but it was candy instead of sushi. Then we got ready for the nighttime party theme, which was red carpet formal night. My outfit was kind of giving princess vibes. I loved all the pearls. There's some foreshadowing here, so stay tuned. We were supposed to have dinner in the main dining room with friends, but it was going to end up taking like hours to do that, so we went to the buffet instead so we could make it to the silent disco. And I wish I had this part recorded, but I was on the dance floor and my entire pearl belt necklace thing somehow busted and all of the beads went flying and went all over the floor, and everyone had to stop to help me because every time I bent over more beads kept falling, and it was not my best moment. But we still made it to the nighttime party though. Come back for day 3. There was a humongous open air playroom on the largest ever spicy cruise, but first we started day 3 with waking up in port at Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. Our interior room had a virtual window, which was interesting, but we really enjoyed it, and my girlfriend and I spent almost an hour waiting for the smoothie that somehow just tasted like plain ice. And we spent some time checking out all the sports amenities since mostly everyone was off the ship. It was so fun because you'd see ladies participating in optional pickleball at the courts, and there were games of strip mini golf going on too. We're always asked what people do on these cruises, and it's a lot of socializing and enjoying activities you'd find on a regular cruise, but everything's done with a spicy adult twist with like-minded open individuals. The playroom was so beautiful being in this open air environment, but the weather definitely affected it at some points, which wasn't the best. However, that didn't stop people from participating in group spicy activities though. Come back for my night 3 vlog. We're a young swinger couple and went on the world's largest spicy cruise. On night 3, we hosted a group dinner with the amazing couples who booked their vacation with our link and had such a great time connecting with everyone. And we went to watch some of the shows going on, which were all right. They were cool but pretty cheesy overall since it's the usual cruise ship entertainment. I was really disappointed that there weren't any spicy shows hired by the cruise charter like there has been in the past, so that was surprising to me. And the theme that night was superheroes versus villains, and my outfit was Chun-Li and my husband Jace was Raven. We partied and flirted with so many people we were into this night. It was such a fun time. We were invited to an after party, the spicy kind, and had an exciting spicy excursion with 2 other couples, and we can't talk about that here, but we do get into details of those kinds of experiences on our audio podcast. Got some late night pizza and come back for day 4. I spent the day relaxing on a private island with over 6,500 swingers on the biggest adults-only spicy cruise of all time. We first had a double-date breakfast with one of the amazing couples we spicy swapped with the previous night, and then got off the ship to explore Labadee. There were so many places to explore and hike, but I wanted to go straight to the ocean. I came across this guest who was wearing a shirt from our shop that I designed, which was so exciting to see in person, and the island was gorgeous, and since we were the only ship docked and it was a private island owned by the cruise ship company, there were areas that we could actually enjoy the beach and ocean completely bare. Swimming in the ocean en natural is such an incredible experience, and I highly recommend to try it if you ever get the chance. More of that on my other page though. We had a beautiful and delicious Caribbean themed lunch. I found some chips back on the ship, and if you are a regular cruiser, you know how exciting that is. I spent the rest of the afternoon out by the pool with all of our friends, surrounded by a wild pool party, which I can't show since it's completely clothing optional, and a majority of people do participate in that. Make sure to come back for my night 4 vlog. One thing about swingers cruises is there's always a glow party, and it's always the craziest night. After socializing all day, my husband and I enjoyed some time alone together at the back of the ship, which is my favorite area because just look how serene it is, and then took a fat nap before heading to dinner. Lots of guests put goodies on their doors, and it's always fun to see what people are offering. Here's an overview of some of the food at the buffet area that night. We usually like grabbing dinner there since it's way faster than the main dining room where most people go, because that can take up to 2 or 3 hours sometimes, depending on how big your group is. I came across another swinger bingo that I can't show here, and we were actually only 1 away from winning that one. And the theme was glow that night, and I went for a neon Madonna vibe from the Like a You Know What music video. We watched the ice skating show, and I opened up my light ring that a sweet guest gave me earlier in the cruise. I've been saving it for this glow night. We pre-gamed in our friend's room, which look how amazing they decorated. I mean, it's really next level. And then we went to the party, which was so overwhelming and busy since almost everybody was there, and I had to leave early because it was far too stimulating even for me. Come back for day 5. I had a very clinky filled day on day 5 of an adults only spicy cruise. Guests are so creative when decorating their doors. We came across one with a fungin sign and selfie opportunities. After breakfast, we went to a beginner's rope class. I typically do self ties, but my husband explored some rope this time around. Class didn't have much direction, so it was kind of disappointing, but it was fun overall, and it's set in stone that I don't really love being a rope bunny. I changed out the patch of my hat to match the clinky theme of the day, and then took a stroll through one of the playrooms and took some time to relax with some vanilla activities like crocheting and reading. We then hung out the pool for many hours during this time and also got invited to a spicy origami party later that night, and I'm not talking about paper folding here. It ended up working out perfectly because 2 of our really great couple friends were already going, including 2 other couples we've already been interested in since day 2. It's super common for people to plan scheduled play sessions and parties, and sometimes it's even necessary because there's just so much to do in so little time. Come back from my night 5 vlog. On swingers cruises, sometimes you get invited to a huge spicy after party before the party even starts. That's exactly what I experienced on night 5. Obviously, I can't get into the exact details here, but let's just say there was a lot of swapping going on in that big room. I often get asked how we handle things like STIs, and the answer is practicing safe intimacy, getting tested regularly, and being open and honest with play partners. There's a reason why consent is the first word in consensual non-monogamy. People with open relationship dynamics openly communicate. We state our boundaries, respect others, and take care of our health. Using protection is the default. And of course, there's a small risk. There's a risk to literally anything in life. Even eating in a restaurant can be risky. You could be allergic to something and not even know, or getting in a plane or a car is a risk, but you take precautions to lower the risk, right? You wear a seatbelt, you state your allergies. Same goes for spicy activities, regardless of your relationship structure. The only way to completely avoid STIs is abstinence. Otherwise, just be smart and safe. Anyway, after the play party, we put on our theme outfits for Fire and Ice Night and went to the main dance party for a bit. Come back for day 6. One of the most unique door decorations I saw on an adults-only spicy cruise was swinger bingo, but more of that later on in the video. Day 6 of Bliss Cruise started off with exploring the ship, seeing what unique classes were going on, and getting some breakfast at the main dining room. We usually do the buffet so we can get to the action and activities faster, but it's super peaceful to have a more formal meal with your partner sometimes too. By the way, I DIY'd this nail set and I'm obsessed with the harness stickers. We go to a lot of spicy human origami parties, but we can actually do napkin origami too. We learned this on a vanilla cruise and it's stuck with us for years. I always thought spicy napkin folding would be a fun activity to offer on a swingers cruise, but we haven't come across that yet. It's always so fun to walk down all the different cabin hallways and admire all the different creative door decor. It's super common to see whiteboards to write messages on and lots of fun magnets. I can't show the exact prompts of the swinger bingo, but it definitely inspired us to make our own for our next spicy cruise. Come back for part 2 of day 5. What a typical day is like on an adults-only spicy cruise. Not everyone on these cruises is a swinger, and you don't have to participate if you don't want to, but we are, and we personally do. Today's port stop was Cozumel, and my first priority was Mexican snacks, because they're top tier. We got the inside scoop on a hidden taco truck that locals and crew staff love, and it did not disappoint. Back on the ship, the pool parties are a vibe, fully clothing optional, so I can't show much, but imagine dancing, flirting, people making connections. Sometimes we'll check out a spicy class, which can range from relationship and communication advice to more hands-on topics. After daytime activities, we get ready for dinner, usually with a couple we're getting to know or a big group of friends. These cruises feel like summer camp. You'll see the same people each year and it's like a reunion. Tonight we had sushi with some of our best swinger friends. Make sure to pace yourself. These cruises are a marathon, not a sprint, and each night has a theme. Tonight was Under the Sea, and while not everybody goes all out, we love adding a spicy twist. After the main parties, smaller after parties happen everywhere, including an impromptu one in our room. The last day of a swingers cruise is always bittersweet. After 7 days of nonstop fun and spice, exhaustion definitely kicks in. Staying hydrated is key, so bringing electrolytes is a huge tip. I wanted to squeeze in a few last experiences, including the zip line, because I mean, seriously, a zip line on a cruise ship is wild. Then it came the sad part, packing up since we're moving out tomorrow. After that, I finally tried the Mexican restaurant I hadn't got to all week. This ship had so many options, it was impossible to fit everything in. It was really hard not to have FOMO. Taking down our door decorations was even sadder than packing. Erasing our sweet messages from all the nice people on the ship felt like a crime. Look how sad and bare it looks now. Meanwhile, our friends had a tablet playing a slideshow of all of their cruise memories, which is so next level, and we're keeping that in mind for the next cruise. Then we made it back to the boardwalk for a spot to see the aqua show. Come back for the last vlog. Don't be like us and make the mistake of scheduling an anticipated play session for the very last night of a swingers cruise. Today had some exciting classes, including a body waterworks one, if you know what I mean. And speaking of waterworks, we also caught the ship's aqua show, which was super impressive. We then had lunch with some of our sweetest friends. They're always so supportive of all of our endeavors. How amazing do they look in these outfits from our shop? And sometimes we sleep with our friends, and sometimes we do the most normal things together, like huddling around a phone to watch the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight. We got our room ready for a late night play party, which was definitely spicy and fun, but we had planned to try some new fantasies that didn't quite work out. Lesson learned, next time we're scheduling that for day 2 or 3. We wrapped up the trip with one last big group dinner with our closest friends. The theme night was famous duos, and we were Daphne and Velma. After a final dance party and late night food run, it was time to sleep and leave the next morning. Can't wait for our next spicy cruise.
We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to show you what the staterooms looked like. We had been renting a house in Miami for a couple days before the cruise with a bunch of friends, so we rented a large car together so we could all go to the port. Here is a ship we were on. We were on Symphony of the Seas, which is one of Royal Caribbean's largest ships. It was around 6,700 swingers on this cruise, which is absolutely crazy. We got on the boat. We started just to walk around. I also just love Bella's shirt. I think it's so funny. I want to show you what some of the hot tubs look like. These would get really, really busy during the sea days and when they had parties here. There was also one of these pools. There was multiple of these throughout the ship, but these were also a great place to go party. And then we wanted to go get a little bit of lunch, so we headed to the Windjammer, which is the buffet on the ship. They always do all these really cool carvings and stuff the first days, and I think actually the first day's food on the ship was the best buffet food we had the entire week that we were there. After we finished up lunch, we made it to our room, and our luggages were already there, which is super duper nice. And then here is what one of the interior rooms looked like on the ship. They were extremely large, especially for an interior room. We did have a room that had a virtual balcony or a virtual porthole, and so you were able to basically see out. Had a really large bathroom. They had the glass over here instead of the old ones that had the curtains, which is so much nicer. We also wanted to go and check the gym out, just see what it looked like. It was also extremely nice and extremely large on this ship. We then went and unpacked our room, which we always like to do. It just makes me feel so much more comfortable, so much more relaxed. Make sure to come back for part 2 so you can see what we would have looked like if we were swingers in high school. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to show you how swingers decorate our doors and what our high school flashback outfits looked like. Made sure to get everything finished unpacking, had some really essential shirts for this trip, and then we started to work on what we had decorate our door like. I like to lay everything out, and that way we can kind of get an idea of what the actual door itself will look like. We started to go through, put everything up, and then this is how it turned out. We had these little flashing pineapple lights. We had a whiteboard so you could write everything. We had these pineapples that hang in the ceiling, which is also really nice. It helps you be able to see your room whenever you're walking down the hallway, so that's a total hack. Started raining outside, but we wanted to go get a little bit of lunch. We went to a place called the Park Cafe. They had these salads, which are actually some of my favorite food on the ship every single day. Always got one of these salads. A few hours later, we headed down to the main dining room because we had a plan to get dinner with a large group of our friends that we came on the cruise with. The main dining room was always a nice area just to sit, have a nice meal. Bella got some spaghetti. I got a steak, and overall the food was good. Honestly, it was not the most great food, but the company was wonderful. And then it was time to start getting ready for the theme outfits. That night was high school flashback, and me and Bella were both the emo scene kids in high school. I absolutely love this shirt that she made me. It says "It's not a phase" with an upside down pineapple. We went to a friend's room, listened to some emo music because a whole group of us dressed up as scene kids because that's what we were in high school. And then we got ready for the nighttime party. They did a little balloon drop, which was so fun. The actual party itself was so fun. That's all I have time for, so make sure to come back for day 2 on this spicy cruise. I'm a swinger, and I went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to show you what we gave away to all the people who booked this cruise through us. The morning started off by me and Bella going and getting a little bit of breakfast. We like to take these little sea days sometimes just to spend the mornings together alone so we can really reconnect, talk, and so we started off at the main dining room for breakfast. The breakfast was pretty good overall, and then we went to our room so we could start getting everything packed, and so we did a bunch of different things this year. Some are new. We had these really fun towel bands that kind of hold your towels down. We gave away some pasties. We gave a bunch of stickers away. We also made these different hats. We had this rainbow one, as well as just a normal upside down pineapple, as well as a bag. And then we gave some name necklaces. And if you guys didn't know, we actually do groups for all these adult only spicy cruises, and it's one of our favorite things to do. If you book through us, you can go to foreplay.com/cruise. It doesn't cost you any extra, but essentially we just give away some little goodies. We do a group dinner. We do a group meetup so everyone can kind of get to know everybody. We did out here at the Aqua Theater, but basically it's a chance just to make connections and to continue to just grow grow this community, and it's literally one of our favorite highlights every single time we go on these cruises. It was an amazing morning. We're just so thankful for the support and that we're able to do this. All right, make sure to come back for the afternoon of day 2. We went on the world's largest adults-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to take you along for some of the nighttime parties. The afternoon of day 2 started off by us walking through Central Park, which is this really beautiful area on the ship that almost felt like you were outside in a garden. It was formal night that night, so we got ready so that we could go to dinner with a large group of friends, but it ended up being such a long wait that we didn't want to miss the nighttime party, so we went to the Windjammer just to get a buffet. And I am going to take you guys to some of the nighttime parties, but we often get comments on these videos saying, why don't you show all the spicy parts, and why don't you show all of that? Truthfully, this community is so stigmatized. We would never want to out somebody because of possible negative ramifications from people knowing people are swingers, which is just so sad. So we can't really show all of the details. That's why we just show us, but you can use your imagination. This night they actually had a silent disco, which is the first time we've ever seen that on a cruise like this, as well as the normal main party at night. It was such a good party. People just having fun, letting loose, and it's such a good time. Hopefully that gives you some clarification on why we so highly value people's privacy. I'm a swinger and I went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and in this video I'm going to show you what one of the playrooms looked like on a ship like this. The morning started off really fun. Some of our neighbors actually had candy, so we grabbed a little pineapple candy and checked out the arcade, which was really neat on this ship. And then we wore matching shirts. Of course, we got to wear our matching shirts. My wife wrap tee is one of my favorite shirts that I own. It probably is my favorite shirt. We went to the breakfast buffet, got a nice little breakfast just to start off the morning. I got an omelet that day. Bella got some cereal. The omelet was ready, and it was actually one of my favorite things that I got the entire time at breakfast. We headed back to our room, but we actually stopped and left a little note on one of our friends' rooms first. We were at a port this day. We were at Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. We've been there a few times, and me and Bella just wanted to more relax by the pool and have a nice day, so we didn't actually get off the boat this day. But here's a view of what Puerto Plata actually looks like. It's a super beautiful island. They have a lazy river. It's really cool, but we actually went up to the sports area with some friends. We played some mini golf and just kind of chilled out by the pool. We got some really nice seats, so we were actually able to push over into the shade. I read for a little while, and then we grabbed a little lunch, and then we went to the playrooms. They were closed when we filmed this. This is just one of 3 playrooms they had on this ship. This is the outdoor one. It was so nice. They had all these nice curtains everywhere, but overall just beautiful playrooms. We went on the world's largest adults-only spicy cruise, and the afternoon of day 3 starts off by us having our group dinner. If you guys didn't know, we bring a group with us on every single one of these cruises. You can get more information at foreplay.com/cruise, but it's always one of our favorite things is to do our group dinner. And then we went to the show that night. We were a little bit disappointed in the shows overall in Bliss this time. Now, the shows that Royal Caribbean put on were really cool, but there was no spicy shows. We wish there was some spicy shows. They normally have them, but this time they didn't. But the ice skating show, you know, it was nice overall. That night, the theme was superheroes versus villains. I was Raven and Bella was Chun-Li. That night, we went to the party and then ended up having a very spicy time with some old friends as well as some new friends. We just had a little group party there, and then we went and got a late night buffet with everybody. It was the perfect way to end night 3, so make sure to come back for the morning of day 4. We went on the world's largest swingers cruise and got to go to an island that had a spicy beach. The morning started off by us just going to get a little bit of breakfast. We actually had breakfast, well, with half of the people that were in our large group spicy party last night, but it was a really great way to start the morning. We were in Labadee, Haiti this day, which is actually a Royal Caribbean-owned island. We were also the only ship there this day, and so because of that charter, because of being the only ones there, we were actually able to have a clothing optional beach, which is so much fun. So we got off on the island, we walked around for a little while, and then we headed down to the beach. Bella fully partook in the clothing optional beach part there, and you know where to find more of that. But it was such a nice morning. The island is just so beautiful. The water was so clear. It's also super fun because Royal Caribbean owns this island, and so because of that, they have this little buffet that's just included. They have a bunch of different salads, a bunch of different meats. They had this really good jerk chicken. Overall, the food here was wonderful, so we sat, had a nice little lunch, and you were just able to sit out and enjoy the island weather, and it was so much fun. That's all I have time for in this part, so make sure to come back for the afternoon of day 4. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and you have to see the absolute largest lifestyle party I've ever seen in my entire life. The afternoon started with us getting back on the boat. I had a little bit of a salad, and then we just went and kind of sat up by the pool for a while, relaxed, and then I wanted to stop by and get a little bit of a snack. They had this Mexican restaurant, which was some of the best food on the entire ship, and then we also got an ice cream while we went to the Flow Rider. It was pretty fun because you could watch people. It was optional, so that's always such a nice time. We headed back to our room so we could take a nice long nap. nap so we could do a little bit of recovering. I love Bella's shirt here. And then we wanted to go get an early dinner, so we just went to the Windjammer, which was the buffet. We got a nice little meal, which was pretty easy, and then we got back to get ready for the 80s glow party. I took a disco shower, which is basically where I just take a shower with these fun lights, and then we got ready for the 80s glow party. It was so much fun. We went to the ice skating show this night too, which was actually really cool. I said, once again, I wish there was more spicy shows on here, but the actual ice skating show was really neat. We headed to our friend's room who had decorated the room insane, and it was also, they had a balcony that overlooked the glow party at the Aqua Theater. This party was massive, thousands of people there. It was so much fun, but honestly, it was overwhelming with how large it was, but it was the biggest glow party I've ever seen, the biggest lifestyle party I've ever seen, and it really was a cool night. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and the theme nights this night were incredible. The morning started off with some breakfast, which is how it normally started, and then we went to a class. It's really cool on these cruises. They have a lot of classes that cost money, but also a lot of classes that are just included, and so you can go take as many of them as you want. They're a nice way to do some stuff you really love, or maybe learn something new that you don't really know much about, and so I think it's really awesome that cruises like this offer classes to kind of teach about different things like this. This day was a sea day, and we spent most of the time just relaxing by the pool. I really cannot record any of that because obviously we want to protect people's privacy. We did have a nice time though, just spending time with friends. Me and Bella went and got lunch together, took a nap, spent more time at the pool, and then at night we went back up to like kind of the activity area where the flow rider was. There was no one up there. We were able just to sit at our favorite part of the ship and have a nice relaxing time. We had a new lifestyle experience this night. We got invited to an 8 p.m. group party with a large group of around 16 people, but we only knew around half of them. Normally these parties we know everybody, but we thought, you know what, we should go. We have some friends there. We have some people really interested in, and it ended up being an amazing time. But we did have dinner before that. We went to the buffet. Here's Bella. If you know this joke, you know this joke. It's been around for a while from these cruises. But then, yeah, we went, had a nice little time at that party, and then afterwards we were able to get ready into our fire and ice fetish outfit, which I absolutely love. Our boy DJ Life of Spice was DJing that night, so we were able to go to the party. It was such a fun night, and overall just a really memorable experience. All right, make sure to come back for day 6. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to show you how swingers decorate their doors. The morning started off by us going to have a nice little breakfast, just me and Bella in the formal dining room. We like to start off mornings this way, and that way we're able just to connect in the morning. Bella was trying to fold a crane. She had not done this in a long time. She got pretty close but missed a few steps, but that's okay. So I'm going to show you some examples of how people decorate their doors. Now, this is just a few examples. I mean, there literally was thousands of rooms decorated or doors decorated. There's so many upside down pineapples, all these just different fun things. Bella fixed this one here. This one was one of the most insane ones, but overall, people just do so many fun things. People do free candies, and overall, it really is a fun time just to walk from floor to floor just to see all the decorations. We got off in Cozumel, Mexico. Bella loves Taxo and loves just Mexican foods, and so we went and got some different candies while we walked around. And then our friends told us about this really local taco truck, and so that is where we headed so that we could get a nice little local lunch. The food was incredible though. Bella said she thinks it's her favorite taco she's ever had, and it was just really nice to have lunch with a bunch of people that are really great friends and spend that time together. We got back on the boat. I did have a little bit of a salad. I brought Bella some watermelon down. She did some crocheting, and that's all I have time for, so I'll see you in the afternoon of day 6. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and this is one of my favorite theme outfits we've ever worn. The afternoon of day 6 started out by us playing a little bit of mini golf with some of our friends. I do not know how this happened. I hate it when I get my balls stuck places, and they got stuck here, unfortunately. But we did get it fixed, and then we got a little bit of ice cream. I had to go to the gym because the night before, in a little bit of a large group party, I sustained a work-related injury, if you want to call it that. Got my calf real sore. Came back from the gym just to see Bella doing a little bit of crochet like a grandma. And then we went to get Azumi, which was the sushi restaurant. We went with some friends. These people were actually the first people who ever booked through us 2 years ago, and we've just made such amazing friends with them over this time, so it was so nice just to spend some time together, and the food here was actually really, really good. We headed back to our room and got the sad news that we had our bag tag, which means that the next day would be the last day on the ship, but that's okay. We got ready for the nighttime party. It was an under the sea theme. Bella crocheted this little bottom part. She made the ears, and overall, I just absolutely loved our outfits this night. It was so much fun. We actually had another little group fun party that night. It really was one of my favorite nights on the ship. That is all I have time for, so make sure to come back to see some videos from the last day on the cruise. We went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I actually saw a fight on this cruise. But the morning started off with a night breakfast. We needed a little bit of refueling at some liquid IV because the night before was kind of a wild night with a little group party there. And then we wanted to go to the zip line. Bella really wanted to zip line. She didn't have shoes that worked, so she had to borrow my socks as well as my shirt. But that's okay. She had a really nice time zip lining. And then we went back to our room. We had to do the sad thing of taking down our decorations. We also had to go through, pack all of our clothes, put everything away, but we did that early in the morning, and then that way we knew that we were done so we could really enjoy the rest of the day. Walked around, saw a couple more cool rooms. Also, I always had these cool things here to kind of see what events were going on throughout the day. We went to go back, check out the slides one more time. We filmed some TikToks at this time, and then it was time to go see the Aqua Show. The Aqua Show had actually been canceled the last 2 nights because of the rain and inclement weather, but it was actually a really cool show. They did it at the Aqua Theater, and I'm glad we got to at least go see it one time. They had all these acrobats and aerialists and divers. It was awesome. And then I went to get a little bit of food for lunch. We got some Mexican food and a salad as well. The Mexican place is one of my favorite places on the ship. And then here is the fight that we saw. It was actually the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, but it was fun nonetheless just to watch with some friends. Here's a little bit of ice cream we got. Bella did that for whatever reason. We went to the back of the ship and saw as the sun was setting, but overall it was just a really great morning. All right, make sure to come back for the final part of this series. We're swingers and we went on the world's largest adult-only spicy cruise, and I'm going to show you how much of a difference our lights make in our room. It was the last evening, so we went to get dinner with a group of our friends. It was so much fun just to spend time with all these people that we care so much about. The food itself was okay, but once again, the memories were just amazing. Here is what our room looked like when we put our lights up. If you saw the day one vlog, you can tell how much different these lights make. It makes it such more of a party atmosphere. We have several different lights. They're super portable, and it really does make the biggest difference. I mean, even look at the bathroom. It has such a different vibe, and it really just makes for a fun environment. This night was famous couples, and we went as Daphne and Velma. I thought it was so much fun. Here's DJ Life of Spice DJing for a little while, and then we headed down to the nighttime party. I hadn't showed you guys what the late night buffet looks like on these cruises, so we went here most nights, either here or pizza, sometimes both. They just had a bunch of different options that you could get, a bunch of different really good foods for a time like this. But overall, it was just such an amazing time, an amazing ship with amazing people. I think it was our favorite lifestyle event of all time. I cannot wait for the next Bliss cruise. And so, yeah, that's the end of this series. Thanks for watching.